Authorities say they found no signs of foul play with Rebecca Zahau's bizarre death. That she stripped herself naked, bound her own hands and feet, then hanged herself from her boyfriend's second-story balcony. But Rebecca's family says authorities got it wrong, and now,
regardless of what's decided here, Rebecca's dead.
The Zahaus are taking Adam Shacknai, Rebecca's boyfriend's brother, to civil court, claiming in their wrongful death lawsuit that he's the one responsible for her death.
With her hands tied behind her back and her legs tied, her center of gravity was so low that it would be virtually impossible for her to get herself over that railing on her own.
But Shacknai's defense attorney says the whole trial is a waste of time.
There will be no evidence from law enforcement witnesses that Adam Shacknai did any of the things that Mr. Greer just said happened here. Not one single witness from law enforcement.
And when it comes to any hard proof,
Adam Shacknai's DNA is nowhere to be found.
But the plaintiff's lawyers came prepared for that fight. In fact, they make it a central part of their case. Calling to the stand forensic specialist Lisa DeMeo to interpret the lack of DNA specifically around the balcony.
Those are rich areas to leave prints on the edge of a door, but yet there's this giant void.
Again, that's consistent with it being wiped out?
Yes.
And when it came to that cryptic message police say Rebecca scrawled across the bedroom door before killing herself, the plaintiff's lawyers had an expert for that too. Handwriting expert Michael Walkshall says based on several specific markers in the message, Rebecca most likely didn't write it.
Between Adam and Rebecca, it's more likely Adam, because Adam's writing is the writing that comports with these attributes on the door, and Rebecca's doesn't.
But the defense had witnesses of their own, including one knot-tying expert who spoke to the seemingly improbable way Rebecca was found.
Did you reach a conclusion as to whether it was possible for Rebecca Zahau to bind her own wrist in the manner in which she was found?
Yes.
And what was that opinion?
My conclusion was that it was possible.
And his basis for that conclusion?
2 dead pathogens right here like this comes on and it was let out.
The plaintiff's lawyers had argued that the elaborate knots binding Rebecca's hands and feet were nautical by nature, significant because the defendant Adam Shacknai was a tugboat captain by trade. The defense?
My opinion was that I did not recognize any uniquely nautical knots, and yes, self-tying was possible.
Then one of the more dramatic moments of the trial, Jonas Shacknai, Adam's brother and Rebecca's boyfriend at the time of her death, took the stand to testify for the defense.
Anything that Adam's ever done in his life that would cause you to believe that he ever would have done the acts that he's accused of in this case?
Never anything. It's inconceivable.
He says it was Adam who initially called to give him the terrible news.
My son was fighting for his life in a hospital, and the idea that Rebecca was now gone, it was unfathomable.
But there was really only one character witness anyone wanted to hear from, Adam Shacknai himself.
Could you please describe the nature of your relationship with Rebecca Zahau?
Good relationship.
Since the beginning, Adam has maintained his innocence, and that certainly didn't change on the stand.
Did you find her attractive?
She was an attractive woman. I was not attracted to her. She was my brother's girlfriend, but she was an attractive woman.
And when pressed about those knots,
The use of the figure eights, wrappings, and the tying it off with a half hitch is something you've commonly used throughout your career, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is it the same knots that you saw here tied on Rebecca Zahau, correct?
Not really. I'm not really sure what I saw tied on Rebecca Zahau.
remember, he's the one who claims to have cut Rebecca's body down from that balcony.
Did you see the figure eights?
I saw something tied around her legs.
Didn't look like a figure eight to you?
Not necessarily. I didn't really get that great a look at it.
In the end, Adam Shacknai would give up nothing. But Zahau's attorney still felt confident he had made their case.
Please hold Adam Shacknai accountable for what he did to Rebecca Zahau.
And after less than a day of deliberating, that's exactly what the jury did, finding Adam Shacknai responsible for the wrongful death of Rebecca Zahau.
Did Adam Shacknai touch Rebecca Zahau before Rebecca Zahau's death with the intent to harm her? The answer is yes.
Adam Shacknai is ordered to pay the Zahaus more than $5 million in punitive damages. But since it was a civil trial, he faces no prison time. After the trial, he addresses the outcome.
I'm proud of the case we made. A lot worse things have happened to a lot better people, so this is nothing to me.
But Zahau's family attorney says Adam shouldn't get too cocky. And then in light of the civil verdict, criminal charges are still possible.
We're going to petition the sheriff to reopen the case, to declassify it as a suicide and to reclassify it as an open investigation.
And San Diego Sheriff Bill Gore tells our Fox 5 affiliate his door is still open.
I'm not opposed to reopening the case if there is new evidence that leads us in that direction.
If that day should come, Adam Shacknai says he's ready.
I'm standing tall. I'm not worried about these posers. They got away with something once. They got lucky. They say it's better to be lucky than good. They got lucky one time. I don't think they're going to get lucky again.
Shacknai is currently appealing this civil ruling. But wherever the case goes from here, Rebecca's family says they finally feel vindicated. A small comfort during the very worst of times.
No matter what happens, Rebecca, I can't get her back. Our family can't get her back. But hopefully people will know that she didn't commit suicide.
With this ruling, do you think the San Diego County Sheriff's Department should reopen their investigation into Rebecca's death? Join the debate right now on our Facebook page. I'm Chris Hansen. If you like this story, make sure you tune in every day to Crime Watch Daily. You can find where the show airs in your city at crimewatchdaily.com. Watch it live or record it on your DVR and watch it at night. And to all those criminals out there, remember, we are watching.